Start of the second quarter at 7-3, Cougars on the Rams. A moment ago, third member of our broadcast crew, Justin Adams, with Colorado State head coach Jay Norvell.
All right, thank you so much, Carter. Okay, Coach, your team started off in the first quarter. On the first drive, was able to drive down in a field goal. Had a little bit of some hiccups from there. What would you like to see from your team soon?
No, just consistency. You know, it's kind of a fast and furious pace right now, but need to settle down. We just missed a couple of throws and had a couple more opportunities, but just settle down and convert on third down.
All right, Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And welcome back to Canvas Stadium, where Washington State leads Colorado State 14-3 with 7:02 remaining in the second quarter. And one of the biggest questions for Washington State will be what will happen to them next year. As you know, Washington State and Oregon State are the only two teams left in what was the Pac-12. And that's really one of the biggest questions. And head coach Jake Dickert, he came out and said earlier, look, guys, we're not worried about what's happening right now with what's going on with all this conference realignment. We just got to worry about us. And you know what? This team has a Cougs versus everyone mentality, and I tell you what, it is something that definitely has inspired this team. Brandon Jackson, he said this pretty much. Did you come to play for the Pac-12, or did you come to play for Washington State? As you can see so far, Washington State, they're very pumped up right now.
Let's check in with Justin.
Well, Chicken Inusian, one of the things they were looking at in the tent was his shoulders. Everything looked to be checked out just fine, and he's right back in the game. And this is a really important 4th down and 1, just missing your tight end on that last play, guys. I can see something similar to them. You know, Cameron Ward just running the ball right up the middle yet again, fellas. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right with you right there, Justin. I think that's one thing about Cam Ward. You get him in a drop-back situation, get your receivers running towards the outside, bringing defenders with them. That's a lot of field to try to stop Cam Ward. Big Dickert would love to see his big physical quarterback get a chance to run.
It'll be a touchback. Colorado State to the 25. Let's check in with Justin.
Well, guys, I had a chance to talk to both head coaches. Let's start with Washington State coach Dickert. He said pretty much for his team, look, great offense is close. He was not pleased with how his team performed in the red zone so far in the first half. And then for Colorado State, even though they only have 4 first downs, pretty much Coach Norvell, he said this. He actually thinks that his team is 1 or 2 plays away from making things happen on the field right now. So we'll see what type of adjustments he made at halftime going into the second half.
That is an optimistic assessment from Jay Norvell. Let's check in with Justin.
Well, guys, look at that Millen right now. He's just on the sideline. He was checked out. He's currently rubbing his arm, his left arm, but he's being held out of the game right now in this 4th and 6th play. So it looks like he wants to go back in, but right now he's not in the game.
Start of the 4th quarter, Washington State has a 29-3 lead on Colorado State moments ago. Our Justin Adams spoke with Washington State head coach Jake Dickert.
All right, Coach, your team's up by 26, but you left a lot of points on the board right now. What are you looking for in the 4th quarter?
Well, I think one of the biggest things we worked on in the offseason was finishing in the 4th quarter. And that's, as a team, keeping the gaps down. And that's what we need to do here, series. We need to come away with points. And we're shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit here offensively, but defensively, man, we've been on top of it. We're rushing the passer. We're affecting it the way we need to be. And let's get ourselves in a situation where we can pass rush.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Go Cougs.
Going to be a touchback. Washington State football to 25 as we check in again with Justin Adams.
Well, guys, Colorado State just took Millen inside for a little bit just for further evaluation. As you know, he's been hit and knocked around a lot today. He is back on the sideline. He does have his helmet on, so he is ready to go back in the game, but he hasn't been in since the 3rd quarter.
Thank you, Justin. This was the hit that sent Millen to the sideline. Incomplete. Well, let's check in. That is incomplete. Let's check in with Justin Adams about his thoughts on the Buffalo win.
Well, you know, guys, I had the chance to put on the black and gold for 3 years from 2004 to 2006. So I would say this. I am not excited about what I've seen. I am extremely excited about today. And you know what? I'm very pleased about how this team just really has shown up. You know, the Colorado Buffaloes. Look, this is a team that lost 11 games, 1-11 last year, and they looked terrible doing it. So to see them go on the road to TCU and get a huge W just puts nothing but a huge smile on my face.
That is a totally objective response as well from Justin Adams. And Justin Adams is with tonight's star, quarterback Cameron Ward.
All right, Cam, I'm going to say a couple of stats for you, all right? 351 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 40 yards rushing, and a rushing touchdown. When you hear about those numbers, what do you think?
Not my best, man. I had a couple of turnovers, fumbles out. I need to be better at ball security. But it's just a stepping stone for us, man. My O-line played great, receivers played great, defense kept us in the game. So, you know, we're just getting better each day in.
How important is it to start off the season with a win, especially a convincing win like this?
It's
It's good. You know, you only get one chance to go 1-0. Then gets a good opponent like Colorado State in a nice stadium. It's a good feeling, but back to work come tomorrow.
Well, speaking of going back to work, you have Wisconsin next week. What do you guys have to clean up in order to beat that team?
Just the pre-snap stuff and myself. Turnovers, got to be good with 2 hands on the ball, climbing through the pocket. We do those things, we'll put ourselves in a position to win.
All right, what can this team do? I mean, look, this is one game. But looking at the whole season, what do you think this team could do overall?
I think we can do a lot, man. Offensively, we're going to be explosive. Defensively, they're going to get us the ball. We got RJ and BJ on the edge. We got Jay Hicks in the back. So, you know, I think we're going to be a good team this year, but it starts right now.
I have to get this question in, but I was hearing there's a Cougar versus everyone mentality. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, man. Cougars versus everybody. We never picked to win, so we just got to go get it done ourselves.
Cameron, thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Air Force Basketball on Altitude is brought to you by Intermountain Health, helping people live the healthiest lives possible. Well, it's all smiles for the Air Force Falcons as they were able to defeat Boise State 72-65 on Senior Day. And you know what? Anytime you get a dub, you know you got to talk to the head coach. And we're here talking with the head coach of the women's basketball team, Stacy McIntyre. Number one, your thoughts on this victory?
Yeah, I just couldn't be more proud of this team, and especially just a proper senior send-off. Excuse me, and just I mean, I can't say enough about Joe Hunter and Madison Smith, and I mean, and they both had great games today, and gosh, how about Milani Perry? She was awesome down the stretch.
Yeah, you talk about what Milani Perry did in the second half, 25 points overall. Did pretty good, and Madison Smith got off to a strong start with 12 points in the first quarter. That was impressive.
Well, I think Maddie's on a mission. I think that's the best way to describe it. And, I mean, what Lonnie pulled through us in the stretch. And, I mean, everybody contributed today, so it was a total team effort.
How satisfying is a win like this, especially the last game against San Diego State? You led by 10 going into the fourth quarter of that game. You led by 12 in this one and was able to go and get a W. How big is this one as you have one final game in the regular season?
I mean, you love having a win like this, especially on your last home game. But, just as a reminder to these kids that we expect to win, that we come out and we execute, and, it's great momentum going into Albuquerque.
All right, now before we let you go, I got to brag on you a little bit, all right? You tied the record for the most wins by a first-year coach in their first season with 17 wins. You have one game to go, but what does this win mean to you, especially your first season?
I mean, you know what? I don't even think about it. I mean, clearly I ask the team to take, one game at a time, and I do the same. And, certainly just thankful, not just for what the kids do, but this coaching staff, because they're amazing. And, when you do have a great staff, you have a record like this.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory. Well deserved, and enjoy a great win yet again.
Thank you, Justin.
All right, thank you so much. And that's Stacy McIntyre, the head coach of the women's basketball team here for the Air Force Falcons. Let's take a look at some stats. Why don't we? As you see, the Falcons doing a great job, but it's that turnover number that really helped out Air Force this afternoon. Boise State, 20 turnovers, Air Force with only 9. Rebound advantage did go the way of Boise State, but the Falcons doing a great job from downtown and also making it happen overall with 4 more assists against Boise State. As I welcome back Gene Parker. And Gene, you heard the comments from Coach McIntyre. Very proud of her players, especially her senior with Madison Smith. Joe Hunter doing a great job on Senior Day, and Milani Perry helping out. That's
She's
junior
probably
with a big
saying,
game.
how come you can't give that to me every game? Can we get 30 points every single game? That would help us out quite a bit. But I think them being able to battle back and absorb Boise State's runs was fantastic, and they put together a pretty close to complete game. And I mean, it also helps Milani Perry almost went perfect from the field in the second half, and a couple buzzer beaters helps there. So she's just fantastic from the mid-range that we saw in both halves.
Yeah, Milani Perry with 14 points in the second half. And I mean, she really shot every shot in the second half from the same place, just a little bit away from the elbow. And when you leave her that wide open, you know it's going in the bottom of the net.
That wide open with her favorite shot. It's really tough to guard, and she makes it look so easy. But I know the Broncos players were really trying to guard her.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Madison Smith. She started off this game very strong, ends this one with 28 points. What can you say about the performance about this senior?
I think she just came out focused and had a fire in her and just played very, very smart, and everybody fed off of that. And then also got it done on the defensive end as well. like we said, that's the Falcons' identity. And when you see your senior star player getting all of these steals, you can't help but respond and play a little bit harder. Madison Smith, she's not a vocal leader, I would say, but she was leading by example all today.
They also had some help as well. Jada McNabb did a great job. You have several other players who were able to go and dominate off the bench. And this is with only Keely O'Halloran, one of the players that really knows how to score, only scoring 5 points. So it's your 2 top players doing a great job in order to get it done for the Falcons. Now they improved to 7-10 in conference play, have a chance to end the regular season at 8-10 in conference play, will face a very good New Mexico team. What do they have to do to get that W on the road?
I think just a complete game. Again, they have to be consistent in every single quarter. Let the defense fuel their offense. I sound like a broken record, but that's when they're at their best, is when they're stealing the ball, knocking down shots, and having just a little bit of fun out there.
I tell you what, it was a lot of fun here at Kluman Arena as the Air Force Falcons were able to win the home slate of the season with a W, 75-68 over the Boise State Broncos. Well, join us back here on Tuesday for some more familiar logos. The Air Force men's basketball team will take on Boise State. Our coverage will start at 7 p.m. on Altitude 2. This has been a presentation of Altitude Sports, your home for the Air Force Falcons. For Gene Parker and the entire crew, I'm Justin Adams saying thank you as always for spending some time with us. We will see you next time